Welcome parents. In the last video, you saw which are the top 5 reasons why kids get addicted to gadgets. And this would have had some insight, some reflection on you, right? And over a period of time, we do not actually feel or realize what is the impact this gadget has on your child, on your kid, because we feel comfortable that your child is using gadget, he is engaged, there is no friction, there is no conflict, because you may be engaged in your work or household work as a mother, as a homemaker, or even as a work from home parent. But the point is, if your kid also is into screen, you're also into screen or engaged into some other work, over a period of time your child using a gadget has an impact on the child's brain, child's body in a very severe way, and we do not realize now, but the impact can be felt maybe after 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, and some can be severe, and those cannot be reversed. And that's why in this video I'm going to help you understand what are the top areas, top 10 areas in which use of gadgets have an impact on child, Let me quickly take through my video and share with you what are those things which have an impact on the child. So just to recap, we discussed on the top 5 reasons for gadget addiction. The first is no rejection, because the kids get used to hearing no, don't, stop from parents, from elders, from maybe teachers if they are going to school or it's online school. So no, stop, these words are used, they get rejected. But in a virtual world, in a gadget world, there is no rejection. Second is they can reset things. You in the physical world you can't reset, but you're playing a video game or watching a cartoon channel, you can always reset things, because you're playing that game. You can start from zero when you have hit that particular barricade or you have lost the game, you can again restart. Third is instant acceptance. You post a selfie on Instagram or Facebook or WhatsApp, for example, especially preteen and teen. If on a WhatsApp with their selfie, you may get instant like, you may get instant smileys and acceptance. So instant acceptance is third reason. Fourth is no abuse. There is no one who is going to shout at you. No one is going to actually bash you, whether it's friend or your elders or parents, because you are in a virtual world. And the fifth is you have control on things. Right? So these are top 5 reasons we discussed in the last video, where they have that those 5 reasons are the reasons why which kids get addicted to gadgets. Right? Now in the next this video, I'm going to talk of what is the impact of gadget addiction in kids. Right? And the first one is it hampers cognitive development. What is cognitive development? Cognitive is a word which is derived from Latin, which means to recognize, to conceptualize, to know, right? And if you look at the image, in our childhood we have played with those particular box and blocks, right? So there is a lot of development which happens in the early age, till 7 years, till 8 years, in fact till 10 years also, in which the child develops through application of mind. You understand, this is red color, this is green color, this is a square, this is a triangle. So that identification of shape, that color, that space, development of that motor sense, in which the brain sends a signal that you have to pick that particular ball and throw that ball, right? So all those application, development of mind through various, either like in childhood we played all sort of games, right? Indoor games or maybe outdoor games, and all have helped in terms of our development of our mind, our brain, right? And we identify those things. But when your child is with the screen in the virtual world, there is no as such, because you are not able to identify various things, right? Whether shape, color, speed of the ball, or anything else which the physical world or a non-screen world gives. So this is a very, very severe impact on kids when they start using gadgets over a longer period of time. The development stops. For example, the other important is when kids love art and craft when they're young. So use of a brush, of a pencil, doing that sketch, using that brush and using that color, All those require a development of mind, how much brush to dip in, how much to take color and put it, right? All these development areas get hampered because your child is into virtual screen and locked is locked is locked. And that's where the development of senses do not happen, all the senses, right? And this is the second reason is it builds obsession in kids, leading to agitation. They get angry very easily, they get upset very easily, they get frustrated very easily, because the moment you take something from them, like maybe a screen, they get very uncomfortable, right? And they feel, this is what I need to have at this point of time, and that's why they get agitated, angry. And because of this overuse of screen time, gadget time, their belongingness, this attachment, engagement becomes so high with the gadget that they are not able to live without it, and they get very angry. And this particular behavior nature leads to a behavior which is called as agitated behavior. And when they grow up as a child, they will always have very nature impulsive nature, getting angry very instantly, right? Or having a very split I would say behavior. So second is using more gadget makes your child more agitated, more angry, right? Third is delayed physical development. It's very obvious, because when your child is locked in the screen, in the gadget, in mobile or video games or cartoon channels, he or she hardly goes outside and plays in the real world. It can be society, garden, campus, outside, friends. So any play stops. It can be indoor play also, but the point is the entire physical development gets stopped because your child is into gadget. So third is it delays physical development because you are not using your hand, legs, all your body, whether it is playing a cricket or whether it is badminton or football, basketball, or just hide and seek in the society, or that chore police in the society, right, where you run. So there is some activity, there is some physical activity with your child, and that's where he or she gets that development of their own physique in terms of their strength of muscle, throwing the ball, picking the ball, running. So all those physical development gets delayed. Fourth is very important, restraint social relationship. When the child spends more time on gadget, what happens is the only attachment is with the screen. So identification of any emotion with a real person gets reduced. And when such child goes outside and attends any function, maybe you're taken to a birthday function or a wedding function, or any function with a gathering of people, and those people are kind of known to you, right? The child is always slightly withdrawn, right, and does not mix well. Why? Because overuse of screen has made the child very occupied with actually an object which has no emotions. So that's why there is a withdrawal symptom in terms of how do I speak to my relative, how do I speak to my cousin, brother, my sister, in fact even parents also. When they go outside, they feel a bit shy, awkward, not because they're introvert, but the point is they have maybe that lost that touch, that emotion, that I need to talk something of my interest or their interest in that chat at a function, whether it is your school function or a family function, right? This is very important one, because we are a social animal, and use of screen time will have an impact on their overall getting along in the universe, in the real world. And this is an important one. It restrains your social relationship, because as the you always, and even you go outside in a party, in a function as a kid, and if you have if it's not your mobile, you'll take your parents' mobile and play with it. How many of you have seen that situation where you go to a function, you are in that function, and the child takes your mobile, and the child is again watching screen in the function or in that particular get together which you have, or whatever kids function, right? The fifth one is increases risk of obesity, and child love eating that particular chips or that pizza or watching along with TV, right? And they love it, and that's why when they start eating more when they're watching screen, because what happens is your entire focus is on watching that screen, that video game, that cartoon, that movie, that channel, right, or a desktop or a mobile or a screen. And when your blood, instead of going it to digestion, it is going to actually watching that event on that, or watching that how that video game is, you are going to race the car, or how you are going to kill the enemy in that military game, right? So entire focus is on that, and you start eating more, and unfortunately, because of the focus being there, the digestive power do not work, because what has to go in terms of your digestion does not go there, it goes to your attention there, right? And that's why there is increasing risk of obesity in kids when they are watching screen. And this was earlier a western US phenomena, but right now in India also this is increasing at a rapid pace. And when obesity increases, it leads to all other problem, and it can have problems right from diabetes, blood pressure, and all other things also, right? And at a particular age, the bone structure can carry a particular weight. If the weight is high, it has an impact on your bones also, right? So fifth is, it increases risk of obesity. And when obesity is not only obesity, but all those health issues which are related to obesity. Sixth come very naturally is that because when they are on screen and get more time on screen, is they going to feel less focus on studies, because having a screen or having a mobile video game or a cartoon channel, it's much more fun, it's much more pleasure, right? I'm not saying no to this. There has to be a proper balance of using entertainment versus education, right? And that is more pleasurable, because they feel that's very nice, that's very engaging, and they feel that study is a bit slightly is struggle for them. And when they always find this a better alternative in terms of I feeling good, in terms of using that screen for video game or cartoon, they will always find less focus on studies, and this is also increasing cases. Seventh, the sense of isolation, and this is something where a lot of kids are entering who are using the screen for a longer time. It happens because when you are with the screen, there is absolutely any lack of emotions beyond you and the screen. Your emotions are attached with what is happening in the screen, right? Whether you are in a racing car video game, or that army video game, or the temple doom, or watching any cartoon channel, or doing anything, right? Or even in fact mostly on maybe any social media apps, you are engaged very unilaterally. There is no emotions which are real emotions. And that's why after some time you may feel that when you're out of that virtual world, and when you are alone, you find there is no one else to talk, because at that time you are slightly deprived of that feeling which you should have got when you were actually in the screen time. So you get a sense of isolation, and kids when grow, this becomes widely more rampant and can lead to depression, because overuse of screen time in the childhood and teenage time can lead to sense of isolation, depression in the longer run. Eighth is strain on the eyes, and this is a severe one, strain on the eyes, because the way we look at it is typically with an angle looking downwards, and it creates pressure on the neck, which I'm going to come in the next slide. But on the eyes, what happens is all the screen emits a blue light. It does not appear to be blue, but in terms of its light spectrum, it is a blue light, and that blue light impacts your eyes over a period of time. And that light is from a mobile screen or a TV or a desktop laptop, it creates strain on the eyes. One. And when you actually looking at the screen, what happens is your ocular movement is locked. When you look at something, your ocular movement is locked. When that ocular movement is locked, there is no other senses which work predominantly. That's why when your kids are watching a mobile or a TV game, and you call their name, they come for food, or come, I'm calling you, they will hardly hear your voice, because their eyes are locked on that screen. And that continuous when the ocular movement is locked, there is strain on the eyes, right? And when you're watching screen, there's hardly any I would say relaxation for your eyes. You're continuously watching for hours together, right? And that's why strain in the eyes because of the blue light, because of the locked ocular movement, it is severe. And kids start getting spectacles, glasses at an early age because of overuse of gadgets. Ninth, which I just told you about, neck and back pain, and this area is becoming severe across the globe. Why? Because the way we look at mobile text see is like this. So our vertebra and the spine, entire neck, is actually gets stressed when you look at mobile like this, right? And there are ways in which you can have a better way of looking at a mobile and save your back and your neck, because you only have one precious back and neck. And overuse of this from an early age can create problem in the kids when they grow up. It may not be seen in the first year, second year, but let me tell you, overuse of this can also impact you a lot in the longer run. And we need to save our kids from all of this, especially the neck, back and the eyes. Why? Because this is something which the pain, if you have a back pain and a severe issue on the vertebral column, it is irreversible. It has lifelong repercussions in terms of your pain. So is neck, and all of this is related to your entire body, because when the muscles get strained in the back and the neck, it has absolutely impact on all your things. It can be walking, studies, and overall your well-being. So ninth is triggers back and neck pain. 10th is radiation exposure. This again is a slow one, which but impacts over a longer period of time. Each screen emits, especially mobile, emits electromagnetic radiations, which we are aware. Like there was 3G, there is 4G, now it is 5G is going to come. Now there can be research which are telling us that overuse of any screen results into exposure of those radiations, and over a period of time it can lead to severe impact on the health. Severe impact, because our body also has electricity inside. When you are exposed to radiation from a mobile phone which is near to you, always in front of you, as a kid or as an adult also, you are exposing yourself to radiation, and this is a harmful effect in the longer run. So if you look at from a summary perspective, which I talked, the impact of gadget addiction, first is hampers cognitive development. Whatever that sensory development has to happen of color, shape, motor movements, physical activity, all this gets stopped. Kids get obsessed and they become angry. Second impact. Third is delays physical development because you're not playing outside. Fourth is they become more shy, inward, and that's why they refrain from social relationship. Going outside and meeting someone becomes a big challenge for them. Fifth is increasing risk of obesity because they love eating and watching together. Sixth is less focus on studies because they find it's more pleasurable watching a cartoon or playing a video game. Sense of isolation because you're all the time on the screen, and this leads to them feeling that after when they're over with their screen time, they feel isolated, and this can lead to depression in the longer run for kids. Strain on the eyes. Eyes are precious, and it has a strain on the eye because your eyes get locked on the screen. When the ocular movement is locked, it's fixed, there is no variation, right? And that's why it creates strain on the eyes. It triggers neck and back pain because the way you use, maybe on a sofa relaxed or on a bed or looking like this, all of them have an impact on your neck and back, right? And last is radiation exposure because over a period of time this radiation is something which is going to impact us, right? So these are the, I would say, top areas in which 10 impact areas of using gadget, and lot of them are also applicable for you as a parent, as an elder, or anyone else who is wanting to understand how gadget are going to impact us in terms of our health, our brain, or overall emotional well-being as a human person. If you refrain from going outside and meeting someone, there is an alarm bell for us as an adult, as a kid, or anyone else. If there's back and a neck pain, there is a reason for us to worry because we are overusing gadgets. So all of them are creating a problem for us. That's why I would say this video is for you to help to understand what are the impact of gadgets on our human mind, especially kids, because the result builds up during their school time, pre-teen, teenager, into their adult life, right? I hope you like this video and understood in detail what are the impact of gadget addiction on kids' life, on your children, and overall as a human being, right? And if you like this video, just subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll be sharing a lot of interesting tips, suggestions, advice on parenting, on kids growth, on kids habits, kids cooperation. I'm also going to cover how to reduce gadget addiction with whatever knowledge I have, which I've implemented, and it has worked wonders. So stay tuned, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video, in which I'm going to talk on how to actually reduce gadget addiction into again in multi-part series, right? Till then, see you, bye bye.